One of our goals at Veriheal is to educate as many people as possible about the powers of cannabis. Part of this is getting insight from the movers and shakers in the industry. Today, we're sitting down with Lo Oliver, a cannabis chef. Through her cooking channel, she strives to educate others, normalize cannabis use, and help break the stigma. Let's get to know her and what it's like to be a chef in the cannabis space.
I started the online thing a couple of years ago, but I've been making edibles for like a decade at least. I just like doing it. It's fun, and I also get super frustrated with like the selection of edibles at the dispensaries because it's all candy and chocolate and gummies, and that stuff is great, but it kind of also counteracts the effects that I'm looking for in the edible in the first place. I really enjoy taking edibles. They help me a lot. I'm someone who's suffered with chronic pain since childhood, so that makes it better for me just to function during the day. And I need like 50 to 100 milligrams at once to feel the effect. And I like savory stuff. I want to throw some cannabis on a steak or some chicken or something like that, and not necessarily just my dessert. It's mostly a lot of experimenting. I know since most of the edibles are for personal consumption, I know that I'm better with a sativa strain. It really comes down to, I think, terpene profiles, because I know there's a lot of, it's either indica or sativa or hybrid, pick one, but it's so much deeper than that, where there's the terpene profile, the percentage of the THC, the percentage of the CBD, and then there's all these other cannabinoids like THCA, CBN, CBG. So it really has come down to I'm just experimenting and trying it, and a lot of writing down what worked for me. And I think that's been really eye-opening and enlightening in terms of when I do make edibles for other people, like my friends and family, to make sure that I'm not overdosing them, because I've had a few people, I've witnessed a few people having some bad experiences with cannabis, so I'm very wary of that because I don't want to be responsible for making someone feel bad. But it is kind of a lot of experimenting and just a little bit of estimating and guesswork. I think that the basics are the most important to nail down. So either figuring out a really great tincture recipe or figuring out a really great butter or oil recipe, which, if we're being real, they're kind of all the same recipe. There's not a lot of difference between infusing butter or infusing oil or alcohol. There are a lot more methods for doing the alcohol, where you can do it without heat, or in the freezer, or with a lot of agitation. So find one that works with your skill set and your abilities, because it's the tincture. What makes the tincture so great is that there are a lot of methods to make it, and that you can put an alcohol tincture in almost anything. You can use it to make cane sugar. You could use it to infuse butter, to take out some of the longer part of the butter process. So that's my recommendation, is to figure out a recipe like a tincture or a butter that will give you the building blocks for making something that is really going to be tasty and work with your lifestyle. I do use it as both a reward and motivation, and for recovery. So it's kind of, it fills a lot of buckets for me and in my life. It also, once we moved back to Colorado, I noticed that since we had better access to cannabis, I wasn't drinking as much. So that was really a big part of it. I've pretty much stopped drinking alcohol, except for like maybe once a month I'll have 2 drinks. But that really made such a huge difference, because I'd much rather smoke than drink, because I'm not going to be hungover the next day. So that was a big part of it. And just like just having the, like, being able to reward myself when I get off the treadmill. Like, I know there's going to be a bowl or a joint waiting for me when I'm finished here. So let's just get it done and have a good rest of your day, basically. It's a little bit of a carrot and stick situation for myself, but whatever works. I lost like 50 pounds after once I started working out more and making that like a bigger part of my life. So I'm definitely better for it, but wouldn't have expected that at all, just from not drinking and focus, using cannabis more regularly and consistently, and with even some some kind of methodology behind it, where I'm making sure I don't smoke too much also, because I'm 34, so I can feel it like, oh, I can't wake and bake anymore, like I have to like be an adult. I was actually looking at my analytics on my site and on YouTube, and on my blog, they keep coming back for the banana bread recipe, which is so funny to me, because it's like my husband's stepmother's like old family recipe that she sent me home with one time, and I was like, this looks like it needs weed in it. So I was actually surprised to learn that that's the one that everyone keeps coming back for. And then on YouTube, it's actually the peanut butter truffles, which they kind of taste like Reese's peanut butter cups. And I really enjoy eating those as well, but they are hard to make, because it's like a lot of this for like 2 hours. I would say just do it, but I also recognize that there's like some privilege where I can say that, because I don't have kids, I live in Colorado, my family's cool. So I'm not like losing anything by doing this. So that's, if you know the local laws and everything else lines up for you, I would say just go for it, because there's really nothing to lose. I mean, it's fun. It is fun. And people love it. I mean, and if you know enough people who use cannabis, like, you always have a good gift to give people. I hope that we see like more public, or more like restaurants and places to actually consume in public, whatever that might look like, ideally like restaurants or lounges, or just a place where you could actually buy some real infused food that's not just packaged candy. In an ideal world, that's my dream, that like you could just walk into a restaurant and be like, I want to throw 10 milligrams or 50 milligrams of THC onto this whatever I ordered pizza. But I'm also kind of fearful, because I see a lot of the black market stuff where there's a lot of parody edibles and fake Sour Patch Kids and whatever. And I worry that because of stuff like that it'll get regulated to hell, and we'll end up with a really unfun edible market, like once we get federal legalization.